3, 2, 1, mark.
And welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole, a podcast brought to you by Justis. I'm Aidan.
I'm Cody.
And well, it's just the two of us today, actually. Stefan and Elijah are busy with work and what have you tonight. So, but you know, we didn't want to leave you empty-handed because in reality, it's kind of been a few weeks since we released a podcast.
Yeah, it has. It's been a while.
Yeah, so I've been kind of missing just sitting down and having a conversation. But we thought we'd take it easy, this one, and kind of just maybe go through a fun topic. Because that is the new thing we're doing, is we're going to stick to one topic per podcast now.
Yep, just a
instead of doing
one.
the three, yeah.
Yep.
Because, you know, it felt like we had to rush through things and
we
was
were
just
always
a
worried
lot.
about like when the next transition was gonna be and like all that kind of thing.
Yeah, so this way, you know, it's a little bit more relaxed and we can kind of take our time talking about things.
Yeah.
And so for this episode, we thought we would take it easy and just talk about our favorite TV shows. Maybe some of the TV shows that even made us the people we are today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But before we get into that, how has your 2019 been?
Oh, it's been pretty good. Yeah, I've been staying busy. Heck yeah. We just did that video that came out not too long ago where I
that's right. We're starting your new series on the channel.
Something different but not new.
Yeah. I love the name, by the way.
Yeah. I thought it fit.
Yeah, that was cool. This one is called Words and Sound Waves.
Yep.
So those of you who haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, it covers a South African rapper, Eugen Blackrock.
Yeah, dude, the song is really cool too.
Yeah, I really enjoy the song. I
edited the video for us, so I got to listen to the song and learn a lot about it from just listening to Cody and that kind of thing. And it is a really cool subject and a really cool song, so I encourage you all to check out that video.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, my 2019 has just been full of trying to come up with ideas for the YouTube channel, trying to just for it, you know, to grow, to just I want to dip our feet into a bunch of different things, you know, not just podcasts and vlogs, but I want to make other educational type videos, you know, other things including our music, because our music is taking some changes this year as well, which I won't get too into because we got some surprises around the corner.
Yeah.
So everything's just kind of morphing and changing, and that's just what I've been kind of working on, you know, is just the future for music, the podcast, and that kind of thing. But yeah, man. What's some of your favorite TV shows?
Well, I think maybe we should start off on someone we're both fans of.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Let's go back to when we were children.
Okay, this could go to two different series. I don't know which one we're talking about, which would be like Supernatural. It would be one that comes to mind.
Oh, that one, yeah. But more, I'm thinking...
Or are you thinking Avatar?
Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Because you knew those are the two I was thinking about, huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because those were ones... Because, you know, me and Cody, we met each other in third grade, so...
Oh, yeah.
We grew up together.
Oh, yeah.
And so we watched a lot of the same TV shows and that kind of thing. And Avatar, The Last Airbender, I think you and Caleb were actually the ones who introduced me to that show. Yeah. And oh my god, when I started watching it, I was hooked.
Like, I straight up started from the first episode airing on TV and watched, like, the entire series.
I remember I had to, like, catch up
aired.
By, like, logging on to the Nickelodeon website. And you could watch some of the old episodes.
Yeah,
it was a lot easier to, like, watch, like, old episodes.
Back then.
Yeah. But, you know, then again, too, we also didn't have all the streaming services.
Yeah, but Avatar's not on any of the streaming services, though.
Not yet, man, but I think they're...
Well, they're doing the new live-action Avatar
exactly.
On Netflix.
My theory is that Netflix might release the cartoon version soon to kind of remind everyone.
I feel like they might do it after.
Oh, that'd be interesting,
so it doesn't take away from the thunder of the new one premiering, I feel like.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I tell you what, they're not gonna post the movie that was already made. Oh, the M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah.
God, I hated that movie so bad. That ruined it. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he understood what Avatar was all about.
Yeah.
You know, and those of you who don't know, we're not talking about the movie Avatar
with the blue people.
Yeah, the different planet. We're talking about
The Last Airbender.
Yeah, the old cartoon TV show
from Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it was like an American anime type.
Yeah. It was that's a good way to describe it. It's American anime. And they had like actual martial arts people like come and like coach them on the show and like.
But the storyline, man, the stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It would bring
insane.
tears to your eyes. I rewatched the series even after I moved out, and I bought the whole series and I rewatched it, and watching it as an adult. I feel like it's so much better. So much more too.
It's so much better.
Oh yeah, it's really dense. It's a really dense show.
There's a lot to it. There's like a whole bunch of seasons.
Yeah, so I'm really excited.
There's 2 series actually too. There's the second one with the new Korra. Avatar. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I own that whole series on DVD, but I haven't watched it all yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch all of it. I only watched some of that one.
Not as good as the original, but it's good.
Yeah, it is good, but yeah, I agree with you. Not as good as the original.
Yeah, but I would argue shows like Avatar and Supernatural, those helped build me who I am today.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm just a nerd here talking, but I know we're talking about TV shows, but even things like I'm looking at my wall here, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Those are the things that built me, man.
Yeah. Dude, the Clone Wars show is actually really good.
Dude, yes.
I haven't watched a lot of it, but like what I have watched is amazing.
Coming out with a new season?
No way.
Dude, they're coming out with a new season. You need to watch the trailer for
insane.
it.
I need to catch up
teaser.
then.
It's kind of a little teaser trailer they released for it.
That might be my next series I catch up on then.
Yeah.
Is that?
I might even want to rewatch that one soon. Yeah, I like this podcast. We just get to kind of nerd out on some of this crap.
Yeah,
that's
heck
cool.
Yeah.
But man, so back to Avatar real quick. Do you still remember watching like the series finale?
A little bit,
dude.
A little bit, but I definitely remember other parts better.
Dude, that episode, I remember that so vividly because that was like one of the peak. I hate to say this, but it was like one of the peaks of my childhood.
Yeah.
I remember just standing there like, oh my god, this is it. And then I had never like experienced such a perfect ending, like such a perfect wrapping up to a story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Of course, it left me with, I wish there was more, but it also left me with a satisfaction.
Yeah, it was a very good feeling
story
of like completeness.
Yeah, exactly. The story I watched was worth it. You know? It was worth the conclusion. So, if we're jumping forward a little bit on our other favorite
Supernatural.
From back then, Supernatural.
Oh yeah, because my sister got us into that.
Yeah,
because she was into it because she liked Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. She's like in love with both of them.
Yeah, and for us, man, it's like, I don't know anyone out there who hasn't seen the show. It's almost like a mini little horror movie each episode.
Oh yeah.
And it's not crazy horror. It's not like super scary and gory. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there is some.
I mean, I'm just so used to it because I've been watching it since we were kids. You know what I mean?
Like way too young. I feel like almost.
Yeah, but I love it. And can we talk about how long that show has gone on?
Bro, it's insane.
Look up for me when they started.
Okay.
What year it was?
Let me check that.
But yeah, so your sister, I remember she let me borrow like the first couple seasons. Yeah. And that's how I was able to catch up with what was airing on TV. And a good point to make is back then, at the same time, or not the same time, the same night, Smallville came on. Remember that show?
No, I don't remember that one as much.
Young Superman.
Because I never watched the full Smallville.
Oh, I watched every single episode of that show. You had
all of them on DVD, right? Yeah.
I think I still own a couple of the seasons. But yeah, I really loved that show too, man. And they came on at the same night. First Smallville came on, and then Supernatural came on.
I remember, because every time I watched Supernatural, I'd have to watch the ending of Smallville.
It was like every Thursday night
I was always confused half the time, because I didn't actually watch Smallville.
Yeah. And so Supernatural's still making new episodes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Smallville
it's
ended
like 14
a long
seasons,
time ago.
I think.
Yeah. They're still making new episodes. And now I don't watch it as they premiere on TV, though. Yeah. I wait for it to come onto Netflix.
Yeah, the whole season. Yeah. I mean, recently, they had an amazing episode in the last 1 or 2 seasons where they went into Scooby-Doo World, which was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a cool episode.
That was, yeah. I love when they get, like, super meta crazy like that. Yeah. Or, like, when it turns out the books written about them.
Yes.
That was
They
hilarious.
do some cool... Dude, they do some, like, trippy Rick and Morty type shit.
Did you watch the one where they go to a school and they're doing a school musical based on the books?
Yeah.
Dude, that one was so freaking hilarious.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
Or even... Look, now we're going to go on a supernatural rant.
When
they went into TV Land... I'm sorry, not TV Land. That's the one where they were like experiencing a bunch of different TV shows, and they were stuck in that. I mean, when they realized that their life was a TV show.
Oh, when they flipped alternate dimensions and like were the actors.
Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing.
A cool episode.
Because recently, because I was gonna get back into watching it, but like I wanted to watch the weird episodes like that first. So like I did a supernatural weird episode marathon.
I like that.
Before going into like the season I need to go into.
That's a good way to catch you up. Just the highlights.
Just the highlights.
Or maybe not the highlights, but
some of the non overarching storyline headlights.
But what I was gonna say too is, the way they mess with reality sometimes. Mm-hmm. To me, that's cool that a monster TV show goes that deep, and a show that goes even deeper that I have to talk about, Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Man, that show has blown up. Everyone loves that show.
There's a straight up Rick mobile.
A what?
It's like, like how there's the Oscar Mayer truck? Yeah. There's one of Rick.
Really?
Yeah. Like, if my computer wasn't going so slow, it still hasn't even loaded me Googling supernatural TV show. When you asked me how long ago it started, so... But I can't show you.
I forgot I even asked you that.
Yeah, I know. That's how long it's been since it's still not even loaded.
Well, we know it had to have been at least
early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s. It's 2019.
I mean, at least it's at 13 seasons, so at least over 13 years.
Dude, that's crazy. That's so many episodes.
It's insane.
Everyone should go binge watch Supernatural on Netflix right now.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
Well, not right now, after our podcast.
Yeah, finish the podcast so you can hear all of our recommendations, so you can build a cool full Netflix, Hulu, Amazon list, whatever.
Yeah, and we'll have a great conversation about it in the comment section.
Oh yeah, like what is it? Like a book club but with streaming?
Yeah.
Like a streaming club?
Excuse me. Did you say bless you?
Yes, I did.
Did people say that for a cough?
Was that a cough or a sneeze?
Cough.
Oh, it's hard to hear with headphones on, so
that's okay.
I don't know. I wish there was a thing you could say for coughs, too. I mean, maybe like Gesundheit.
What?
Which is like you never heard that?
Say it again?
It's like Gesundheit.
Oh, I like that.
It's like, because I know how it's spelled. I just never knew.
That sounds like something you would say if someone coughs.
It's like be healthy, I think, or something like that.
Be healthy. I'm just going to start saying be healthy. No.
You have to say it like really passive aggressively, like be healthy.
Like as if I'm inferring like they did something unhealthy to cause that cough or sneeze.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, why don't you just be healthy?
Yeah.
That won't happen.
Yeah. But anyway, before we get too off tangent,
topic. Yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, yes.
So, one thing I really respect about that show is how deep it goes.
Oh yeah.
Like I think I don't know if the average person watches it, but the average person, it takes concepts that are crazy and outlandish, and it helps like the common person understand it, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I like how they're staying away kind of from the whole time travel thing, and they do a lot of interdimensional traveling.
Yeah,
that's
I enjoy that a lot too.
That's so cool. So there's a bunch of different versions of themselves.
Yeah, it gets crazy dark though sometimes at some points, but that just makes it all the more enjoyable.
Yeah, man. What was? Show me what you got. Get swifty. Freaking aliens come down to Earth, and they have it's a talent, or would you call it a talent show? It's like America's Got Talent type of thing, right?
Yeah.
These giant alien heads. And, no, it's different representatives from different planets, I think is what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rick and Morty were the representatives of Earth. And I think if you lose, like, your planet got destroyed. It's been a while since I saw the episode, so forgive me if I'm butchering the plot, but they had to basically create a hit song that these alien heads would appreciate. I don't know. The show just has crazy plots like that I love, and I think it takes realistic science and spins it in science fiction ways.
Yeah.
Like for example, I haven't watched a lot of them, just barely skimming some of it on Netflix. But Star Trek. You can probably tell us more a bit about that.
Star Trek is a lot
Which
of
one
fun.
did you watch?
But I didn't really watch much of the original Captain Kirk Star Trek. Right. I've always watched like Captain Picard Next Generation. That's always been like my favorite Star Trek.
See, the ones I've been skimming is the original one.
Okay.
Just because too, I recently watched all 3 of the
remake movies?
The remake movies, and those have the characters of the original series. So that's what got me interested to like check out the original series.
But bro, you'll really enjoy Next Generation.
Yeah, I think I will. Dude, I like Patrick Stewart.
Dude, Captain Picard is amazing.
Yeah.
And so is Commander Riker, who's like the first commander.
Yeah. Star Trek. The Next Generation is that one?
The Next Generation.
Is that one on Netflix as well?
Yes, it is. Dude, like all of the Star Treks are on Netflix, I think. Like a majority of them.
Really?
One that I didn't really like was what is it? Like Deep Space Nine.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That one, I didn't enjoy that one.
Is that a weird one?
It's one where like they're on a satellite out on the edges of space. And I don't know, it wasn't as good.
So they're not in like an Enterprise type ship?
No.
In Next Generation, are they in the Enterprise?
What it is it's like 100 or I don't know if it's exactly like about 100 or if it's like hundreds of years like past the original Enterprise.
Right.
And so it's like it's a bigger class ship that they reused the name for. So all of them are like just the name of the ship is called Enterprise.
Okay.
And so they reuse the names for different ships because like the old ones go out of model and they like keep historical names kind of thing or something.
Okay. USS Enterprise?
Yeah, because like the Enterprise in Next Generation is like a much bigger ship than the first one. Like it's like straight up like battle class.
Oh.
It just has basically it's so big that it has like the entire families of all the crew too.
Yeah?
That's what
Wow.
And so like during emergencies they actually eject off like that section of the ship and there's just like the bridge and command section with like all the weaponry and stuff that splits off of it. And at a different point they have to like reseat.
When was this show made? Like what time period were they making this?
I can't remember, but it was like a good gap from the first series if I remember correctly.
See, one thing that why I originally brought this up is just like Rick and Morty. They deal with like I feel like they do a good job of incorporating real life science into science fiction. They make it seem like, oh, that could really happen.
Yeah, it's not like might not be exact science, but it's at least like it uses principles of science and things it does.
Like the reason they're not wearing space outfits all the time is because they go to like oxygen
that are
like
habitable.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think if they ever show them in space or anything, they are wearing like some type of space uniform. And I know too, like I think with the way they transport was originally they just made that because with the technology they had at the time, that was just the best way to like explain them getting from the ship to the planet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't talk a lot about Star Trek because I haven't seen a lot of it, but
it's a good show.
I have enjoyed what I've seen, and I enjoyed the movies. Because
I feel like, compared to, like, because people always get into, like, Star Trek versus Star Wars, and I feel like the big comparison is, like, in the names. Like, Star Wars is more about, like, the rebellious war side of the galaxy, Yeah. And then Star Trek is about, like, the political government side of the galaxy, almost.
Yeah. Like, this is the way I think about it. Star Wars is like Avatar, okay? The Last Airbender. And the way that you get invested in a long plot and it will pay off in the end. Star Trek is like Rick and Morty in the sense of it's a new adventure every episode.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like there might be like recurring things every once in a while, but they aren't all like dependent on each other.
That's the way I think about it. Star Trek is a different universe with fun little adventures, and then Star Wars is this giant family, crazy plot that you get invested
It's
in.
basically it's just basically around families, a specific family. It's the Star Wars story, the Skywalker
blood.
family.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But hey, I guess we can't talk about Star Wars because the Clone Wars show.
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. What TV shows are you watching these days, though?
Let me think. The one I just started, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna get into it yet, like how I feel, but is Eureka, which was one of the sci-fi shows.
What's it about?
It's about a sheriff. It's like it's about a town in California called Eureka, but like not the actual town. It's like the fantasy version of it. So it's like basically the government back like in maybe like the 60s. They made a town that was like all of the scientific geniuses of like all these different fields in one town.
Ooh.
And it's like this was the center of progress for America.
Okay.
And it's this sheriff who was like originally like just a U.S. Marshal, and he becomes like the sheriff of this town. And so it's like all the crazy shenanigans he gets into with like all the super smart people, and it's like all this like it gets to the point of like it's like end of the world type stuff, like crazy levels.
Is the town that all these smart people live in like super futuristic?
Oh yeah, dude, it's like one of the lines in the first episode is like he's like, oh, it's like Area 51. And he's like, oh, Area 51. They wish they had our security. Yeah.
Area 51, man. What am I watching these days? Honestly, I'm rewatching Supernatural.
Yeah.
Admittedly, yeah.
It's fun to just rewatch things sometimes, because you can just like sometimes if it's a long enough time since you watched it, you get to like almost re-experience it.
Yeah, dude. Another TV show I super appreciate, and like want to shout out, and everyone should watch it, is BoJack Horseman.
I haven't watched that one yet. That one's on my list, but I haven't watched it.
Man, talk about deep. That show is really deep, man. It can be depressing at times, but then again, I feel like it takes depressing situations and shows you how to look at the bright side. Mm-hmm. And not even that necessarily, because I think too, it like Rick and Morty, it shows you the irony in life. And it kind of shows you why you should just stop tripping and just kind of enjoy life as it comes. Because in the grand scheme of things, you can't really control everything. Yeah. You're never going to be able to, you know.
Definitely.
And see, that's the kind of stuff, it goes deep like that. But it has, an entire big plot. But every episode, seems to kind of knock on these big, how do you say it, exponential crisis problems, you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, like I would say that BoJack and Rick are both cosmic nihilists in a way. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so BoJack is kind of, he has like the same type of thinking and like belief as Rick. He's just not a genius. He's a broken down Hollywood star.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't he like originally a child actor or something?
No, what it was is he was on a show. Imagine the show was like Full House. Uh-huh. And he played like the dad.
Oh, okay. He was the dad.
Yeah, yeah. The original show he was on was called Horsing Around. Yeah. Okay. So the show takes place like it's like 10, 20 years after that. Yeah. And yeah, it's just I don't want to spoil too much of the show, but it just it gets into the struggles of that man's life and the people around him, and it has a really cool way of just looking at culture and things that we're dealing with in the real world and the way it translates throughout the episodes.
Speaking of shows that are really deep, one I really really enjoy and can recommend to people is called The Good Place.
The Good Place. Tell me about The Good Place.
Okay, imagine there's a woman who was like, in life, she was like horrible woman who was a bitch to everyone. She didn't give a fuck about anyone but herself. And then one day, bam, she dies. She gets hit by a trail of shopping carts in front of a grocery store and dies. Okay. She wakes up and she's in this white room with this dude dressed up nicely in a bow tie. Okay. And he's like, hey, you've been chosen. You have led such an immensely good life that you've scored enough points to get to the good place.
What?
And she's just like, awesome. But in her head, she's like, fuck, I was a terrible person. How did this happen? And he goes on to explain, like, yeah, you did all this work to feed the children, like all the poor. You were like the new Mother Teresa, like all this stuff.
Right.
And she's like, crap, they mixed me up with the wrong person. So that means the person they're talking about has to be in the bad place. And she has to figure out. 3, 2, 1, mark. So, sorry about that, guys. I cut out there for a second. But I was talking about the show The Good Place.
Yeah.
And so, she's in the White Room. The guy says, you've led an amazing life helping all these people. So you're eligible to go to The Good Place. And it's like a non-religious good place. They say, like, no religion got it right at all.
So, yeah, they don't call it heaven.
So they don't call it heaven.
Yeah.
What it is, they say there's actually, like, one picture on the wall in the guy's office. And it is just, like, a stoner dude from Colorado who they said got it, like, during one of his smoking sessions. Got it with a 94% accuracy. So they have a picture of him on the wall.
Like, he got what?
What the afterlife really is. He was 94%.
A stoner got the closest, like,
yeah,
interpretation of what it would be
what
like.
the universe
That's
is,
hilarious.
yeah.
Do they talk about, like, a leader type, like a god figure?
There's, like, things you can draw parallels to, but not quite. It doesn't really go that far.
Or
Like,
maybe you
it's just,
haven't
like,
gone far enough in the show. Have you watched
Maybe
the
I
whole thing?
haven't watched the third season yet.
Maybe one day it will address something like that. Or if there's like a council of elders.
It goes into some crazy existential stuff. There's like a judge. The funny thing is, like, the scene where they go to see the judge, like, they walk in, there's like a burrito on the table, and like at this point they've seen so much crazy stuff. They're just like, they think the burrito is the judge for a second, and so there's like, oh, judge,
how do we act?
Yeah, so they like start pleading, and then like a judge walks in, she's like, that's just my lunch. And it's the pregnant lady from Grown Ups is the judge. Remember the Adam Sandler movie Grown Ups?
I'm trying to remember who was pregnant.
Rita Jones, I think, is her name.
I can't remember.
I don't know if that's her name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay. But it's a hilarious show.
Man, what else am I watching these days? Dude, I know you haven't... I think you've watched a little bit of it, but Game of Thrones?
I've seen some of it. I'm not really
probably
into
people
it.
listening to the podcast are like, oh, they're going to talk about Game of Thrones. Everyone talks about Game of Thrones. Well, hey, there's a reason everyone talks about it. It's good, man. It's so dense.
I love when you use that, because I don't know if you know about the meme of that word.
Oh, man.
It's a prequel meme of the Star Wars prequels.
Oh,
Basically,
really?
there's an interview the director does where he talks about every scene in the movie is so dense. It's so packed with visuals, and it's like a meme in some communities.
That's so funny because
online.
that's how I've been talking about like multiple TV shows. It's
Yeah,
so dense. Yeah, but it is, man. It is. There's so many different storylines happening at once that it filters through, but it doesn't get exhausting. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason it's so good too is because, like most really good things, it comes from a book.
Yeah.
Several books. But my point is, the next season is coming soon, and I can't freaking wait.
Season is coming?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Winter has came.
Giggity.
But another show on my watch list that you've been mentioning lately is Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yes.
Everyone
I love
talks
that
about
show.
that one too.
Oh, I love that show.
Give me a rough example or a rough summary of the plot on that.
Oh man.
Like what is it about?
So basically, it's about an alien with a time machine who, like, he escapes from his planet because it's at war.
The main character is an alien?
Yeah, he's an alien.
I didn't see that coming.
It's a race called Time Lords. Mm-hmm. They're basically like they're super advanced aliens that, like, they are the masters of time, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting fact is they have 2 hearts.
Oh.
Yeah, and 3 brain stems.
I would have thought with evolution we would like lose things, not gain things.
Well, they have a different evolutionary
path
tract than humans do.
Yeah, that's real.
But basically, yeah, he goes in a time machine, and it's like slightly malfunctioning, so it's like it kind of goes where it wants to go, not where he wants it to go most of the time.
Interesting.
And so it just goes around him. He usually goes around with like a human companion that he picks up along the way, and it kind of cycles through him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what's his deal? What's he doing?
He's just going around, like really. That's like that's one of the big questions of the show. It's called Doctor Who for a reason, because he's just known as like throughout the show. His name isn't like Doctor Who. Right. Throughout the show, they just call him the Doctor. He's like the Doctor. Okay. Like some people, like because no one knows who he is. No one knows his real name. Right. Except for like select few people, and so like people think that like they say that's the origin of the word, almost like in a bootstrap paradox sort of way. Yeah. That's the origin of the word Doctor is because he called himself the Doctor. Interesting. And so helping people through medicine, like kind of it's like named through that. So in a way,
is he all over time, like past and future?
Oh, bro, all over time. Like to the point where like there's like whenever he meets up with like someone who's a time traveler, they like share stories and stuff. Like, okay, have you done this yet? Has this happened for you yet? Because it's like everything is so crisscross for them. You might meet someone when they're 500 years old versus someone that's 1,000 years old, and it's like at different points.
Can they change the timeline?
Yeah, because like how it's explained almost is it's like time is fluid, but there's certain anchor points that connect things that need to happen, choices that need to be made at certain points that like once they're locked in, you can't change. But until that point, until they came and messed at that point, it's like, okay, this has been the point that changes things, and we're now changing it, like to see what the point is. It's almost like with that. I'm trying to think of how to explain it. It's almost like until the choice is made, both timelines exist. And then when the choice is made, it determines like what the actual timeline
like
is.
Schrodinger's cat?
It goes into like, dude, the show goes into some crazy like time travel paradox stuff, like all kinds of things.
Interesting.
But if you go, because it's weird, because there's like, basically at this point, like 14, 15 seasons, probably even more. And it's split into almost like 2 eras of the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like the classic era, which is like up to like the 7th Doctor, I think. Because like part of the story is like Time Lords, one of their thing is they regenerate when they die 12 times.
What?
Yeah. And so like it's almost like
so have
each
different
time
actors
it's
play
like,
him?
Yeah, that's how they keep the continuity. It's the same person as they change actors.
It's like the same soul.
Yeah. And so, but it's almost like a countdown. It's like each one you go, you're like, oh shit, it's getting closer. Yeah. It's getting closer till I'm down to 1. So it kind of like, it's not like just a get out of jail free card. It's like a ticking time bomb kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, we all have that ticking time bomb, don't we? Mm-hmm. Do you watch much Family Guy anymore?
Not anymore, but I have watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Family Guy, but man, I gotta admit, once they took it off Netflix, I haven't seen it since.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know. I need to get Hulu. That's where it is now. That's where so many things are that I need to watch. Hulu is amazing.
I kind of like Amazon as well, but not as much as like... Because one thing I hate about Amazon is there's still stuff you have to pay for on there. Not annoying thing. Like there's a certain section you have to go to for the free stuff.
Yeah, it is... It's nice to just pay a flat rate every month and just know
have
that
everything.
You can watch anything that you see.
But some of the nice thing about it, though, is since like I don't have cable, so I don't have like on-demand stuff, so like I can just go on there and be like, oh, this isn't available on any streaming service. At least I can like pay for it on here instead of them not being on a service.
Dude, cable's gonna die out, man. That's what
cord cutting is becoming.
That's what the old people of the world need to understand. Any old people listening right now? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. The internet is here.
Internet is here.
Cable TV is gone. YouTube is winning. Get over it.
But you know what I feel like? Is it's almost like when it comes to getting with the times, it's almost like there's a bell curve where it's like the young and the really old sometimes are like easy to adapt in ways. Because it's like once like I've heard stories of like older people, like they'll get all the newest stuff just because it's like, all right, they've been through everything. They might as well. They have this retirement money. Yeah. Like, all right, I got the Amazon Alexa. I got this smart TV. And it's like, so they're more ahead of the times than like a lot of the people like
dude,
in the middle.
They're trying to take the internet back because they're realizing, you know, that how free it is. That was the whole what was it called with the whole internet thing? They were
net neutrality.
Net neutrality, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so they're gonna try to regulate. And
people are realizing that the internet needs like. The internet is a thing that we need moving forward. Now that we've gotten to this point, we're not dialing it back. So it's something that we're going to have to become like in the Elon Musk, Joe Rogan podcast, where it's like we're going to become symbiotic with technology.
Yeah, man.
It's like we're already on that path. It's become inevitable in a way. It's just going to be how it happens from here.
Yeah. Man, we're going to be able to like go to sleep. Like you go to sleep at night and like you just watch Netflix in your dreams.
That would be insane.
That'd be crazy.
Oh my god.
I bet you like never hit REM sleep.
What if, bro, certain people, their dreams are Netflix? You know what I mean? What? So it's like you go on Netflix, like, oh, Dave's up. Dave's asleep right now. Let's check out what's going on in his head. That would be crazy stuff.
Speaking of Netflix and TV shows, what do you think of like the Netflix original series?
I've seen some of them. And they're pretty good. I'm trying to think of some that come to mind. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I would tell you to Google it, but our computer's being slow. But so is Netflix where you're watching most of your TV shows these days?
Yeah, Netflix.
Like, you don't have cable at all either, do you?
No, I don't.
So yeah, you just do what you do: Netflix and Hulu, huh?
Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. I have all three. I have Netflix just through my sister, Hulu through my parents, and then I pay for the Amazon.
I gotta ask you then, have you heard much about the DC streaming service?
I haven't.
DC Comics is coming out with or I think it already came out, with the online streaming service, and they're basically gonna have all like their DC animated movies, all their DC live action movies, and what I heard, the really cool part is they're going to have a collection of DC comics that you can look at and read online.
Oh, no way!
That's like the main reason why I want to get it.
That sounds pretty awesome then, actually. Wow, that's like a really good way to capitalize on that. Yeah. And like a cool way specific for like a comic company.
Yeah, because at first I'm like, how is a comic company going to have their own streaming service? You know what I mean? But then when I heard about that,
it's like an e-magazine subscription kind of deal.
Exactly. Like, so then if you just look at it that way, then it's like, and then plus you get all the TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm gonna have to get my subscription, but I think it's worth checking out. I think it's gonna be cool, especially because I love Marvel. But like I said before, I'm ultimately a DC fan.
You know what streaming service I'm kind of not looking forward to being a thing?
Disney.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that because I just brought up Marvel.
Yeah.
See, yeah, they're going to have like all of their Avenger movies, you know, on the Disney streaming service, and they're going to have all that on there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? What are you not looking forward to?
I don't know. I just feel like there's no reason for them not to be on other streaming platforms because they still make money from doing that. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to capitalize on it more, but I almost feel like it's not going to work out because people are not going to want to pay for more stuff than just Netflix. Like, at least with the DC one, it has, like,
the comic book thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's taking so long to come out. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
What's going to be so grand about it? Because I think... I want to say the DC one's already out, man.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel like they started talking about that one after they started talking about the Disney DC, the Disney streaming service. Man, it's gonna be the streaming service wars.
It's gonna become the new channels almost, and then we're right back at cable again.
Yeah,
buying packages of channels. It'll just be through a different wire.
Yeah. Yeah, see, they're gonna have to figure something out because they're gonna have to lower the prices of everything because they have to understand that everyone's gonna like want all of these streaming services.
Yeah, like there's definitely. I feel like if they just got rid of the idea of individual profit, if they like can collaborate so that everyone makes profit. Mm-hmm. Like in a way, like, you know, all the streaming services, like all the studios coming together and being like, okay, let's make one really good consolidated streaming platform we can put all our movies onto that we make. You know, if all the movie studios came together is what made this like
humans don't agree though, man. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. Well, let's just the closest thing to that is gonna be if Disney just buys everyone.
Oh God, that's I'm not talking Monopoly here. Oh God,
Disney will just own everything.
That's a podcast idea.
What?
Monopoly.
Oh.
We could have like 3-hour-long podcast of us playing Monopoly.
Hey.
Although actually, if we do the real rules, that goes a lot quicker.
Really?
Yeah, which is like, well, one of the things that makes it go a lot quicker, which is in the real rules, is when you don't want to buy a space, you don't keep going. It goes to auction.
Oh.
So that someone ends up buying it.
Why don't people play it like that?
I don't know. It's just a lot of people just don't read the instructions, and so they end up playing it where you just go around like, I don't want to buy it. All right, let's keep going. Da, 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 da. You know, they don't think, let's put it to auction. You know what I mean?
I heard that Monopoly was invented to like show the dangers of capitalism.
Yeah, it kind of works in some ways, but I feel like we enjoy it. Like I feel like it's one of those weird things where we enjoy it because of how
it proves of our inevitable instincts to create capitalism even when we don't want to.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh man, I'm getting so off topic. But just real quick to talk about the cannabis industry. They, like, for a long time, you know, I was so against, you know, people talked about not passing the law in California to make it recreational because of all the permits that would be so expensive for growers, things to buy, or to have to get to be able to grow. Well, the more I thought about it and the more I learned about it, I'm starting to realize, like, that's the only way. We have to play the capitalist game to win. You know, I love the life-loving hippies and that kind of thing, but they're not the ones that are going to get laws changed. It's going to be, you know,
a big industry with money behind it.
Yeah, and
we'll get
that can afford lobbyists to actually change laws.
Because like I feel like the end goal isn't California being legal. The end goal is federal legalization.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you just got to flip states. That's the goal right now. Yep. Is flip states, and it just gets to the point.
Have you seen the green map recently?
I haven't.
It's getting bigger, man.
Yeah, it's getting greener?
It's getting greener.
All right. That's exciting. Greener.
Yeah. But anyway, back on TV shows real quick. We're probably coming to an end here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But did you have any more TV shows
I'm trying to rack my brain and I can't think of any.
I know, it's like I feel like I watched so many things at once.
I did have one.
Like I could talk about for hours. The Flash. Man, I love that show, dude.
You know, I have one I can recommend.
What?
One I used to watch a lot, and I've been wanting to rewatch, but I can't find it on any of the streaming services.
What's that?
It's called Warehouse 13. It's another sci-fi show.
I've heard of that.
It was really good. It's basically about the bunker where they put all the weird shit.
Define weird shit.
Like basically, like imagine like the typewriter Edgar Allan Poe used, and so it has like all of the energy of like like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah,
you get the Poe energy. Yeah, and so basically like I can't remember that specific thing, but like it drives people to commit suicide or something like that. Like it's like almost like cursed artifacts.
Okay, yeah. I immediately started thinking about the Rick and Morty episode with the cursed objects. And he was selling cursed objects, and then across the street, Rick opened up a store that took it reversed cursed objects. like it took the curse away, so you could just use the object for its benefits.
Yeah, well, it was Satan, right, in the mall.
Yeah, it was Satan.
Yeah.
He's the guy who owned the shop that had the cursed objects. And Summer, the daughter, she was like working for him. She was like defending him the whole time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I gotta say, dude, I love her character. She's so funny.
She is. I loved her character in the one where they go to the post-apocalyptic world, and she just like all for it.
Oh yeah.
And then it turns into suburban post-apocalyptic world.
A good episode too is when she gets to go on an adventure with Rick, and they end up going to the female-ruled planet. It's funny. They make a lot of good jokes in that one.
You know what was a really funny one was when Rick takes them to the couple counseling.
Oh God, yes.
That one was hilarious. They're so codependent on each other. They're teaming up.
Yeah. Really great. But man,
gosh.
we're gonna talk about Rick and Morty all freaking night, dude.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It is.
I need to watch more of it. I haven't watched everything of it yet.
Yeah, honestly, how I watched what I have is I just have bought the seasons.
Yeah.
When they get released, yeah.
Well, it's on Hulu, I think, so.
Oh, yeah, see, I don't have Hulu.
I got the subscription.
Man, you have it right there in front of you.
I do. Half the time I don't even watch TV. I watch YouTube. So.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's another thing.
Also, this huge list of TV shows I want to watch, so it makes it even harder.
Yeah, YouTube it's almost its own medium of TV shows.
It is.
Because
really
creators
is.
are getting so good that like they're making 15, 30-minute long videos without a crew and a freaking big old corporation telling people what to do. Mm-hmm. Like
it's
what we're doing
maybe
right
like
now.
One or two editors they outsource to or something.
The entertainment world
is
going through changes, man.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like one of the terms we can use that like really describes like the changes going on right now is like crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing. And like just like that's what YouTube is. It's like crowdsourced entertainment.
Yeah.
And just there's the big YouTubers that they stuck, and that's and it's like just through everyone just always uploading on YouTube.
What kind of
automatically good ones will rise up to the top.
Last little topic then before we end it here. Do you think that one day YouTube and like creators like us will own the market as opposed to like Netflix and Hulu?
I don't know. That could be really interesting.
So you know what I mean? Like, people stop watching these TV shows because I imagine like it's getting so good, creators like me and you are going to start making TV show like they already are. You know what I mean?
You know what I feel like part of the change is also the rise of things like Patreon.
Oh yeah.
Because then you have creators. Because like there's a lot of the ad stuff going on with YouTube right now. Like been going on.
Trying to sort that out.
There's a whole thing that I can't really get into just because there's so much of it. We don't have the time for that. But so a lot of YouTubers are turning to places like Patreon where they can be like, hey, just pledge like $1 a month. And enough of people do it, then it covers the cost of making videos plus enough like people get to the point.
What's super interesting is YouTube has this whole ad thing so we don't have to pay for a subscription, right?
Yeah.
But because they're doing such a terrible job at it, we are in return voluntarily paying a subscription.
But what if it's in a good way because we're cutting out the middleman?
No,
we're paying directly to the creator making the content instead of paying some big cable company.
Maybe YouTube will do their own thing like that one day. Where
they
we can
are
pay
working
the
on
creator
that.
Directly.
They do have that. They're working on that. It's like you can become like a because like there's you can become like a subscriber / follower
like
kind
YouTube
of thing,
Red?
normal. But then there's also not YouTube Red. It's like you can join with their like community kind of thing, and it's like you can pledge like a certain amount per month to them, and like you get certain perks.
Interesting.
Another place where people like that's really good for that is Twitch. Live streaming.
Yeah, Twitch is becoming a big thing too.
Like a lot of like, especially like the gaming, and even more than the gaming. Like there's a lot of people doing like even like a lot of like the art YouTubers and stuff who do like them drawing and stuff like YouTube videos of it. Mm-hmm. They're moving to Twitch where people can like donate as the live stream goes on. Like
dude, these are the new TV shows.
Doing it that way instead of through YouTube.
These are the new freaking TV shows. But too, man, before we end the podcast, I gotta mention one last TV show that made our childhood.
Do it.
Teen Titans.
Oh, yes!
Man, yes. Teen Titans. So they recently made a live-action Teen Titans show on the DC streaming service. I've only seen trailers for it.
Yeah, I've seen trailers.
It doesn't look like the Teen Titans that I want.
Yeah,
but it looks cool.
You on that.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks like it could be good, but it's different.
Yeah.
Than the Teen Titans.
I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I heard they're making like a new season of the old show. Because I don't know if you remember,
No
but the old
way.
show left us on a cliffhanger.
Dude, I'm gonna have to rewatch it because
And
it's
so
been
I
too
think
long
they're
since I've
gonna
seen it.
they're gonna give us answers.
Okay.
So I don't know where you can watch Teen Titans,
I don't know either.
that original TV show, but
Might have to find the DVD somewhere.
yeah,
Who knows? I
you
don't
listeners
know.
who haven't seen it,
Maybe Amazon, like the shopping, not the Prime. Like
Yeah.
so you could do the actual buy the DVD of it. I feel like 'cause I don't think it's on their streaming.
Cartoon Network came out with so many good shows, man.
Oh, it did. So many, too many.
Yeah.
But Nickelodeon did too, especially
Yeah.
the classic Nickelodeon. Like Rocko's Modern Life remains one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows.
Really?
'Cause it was just
what
so
was some more classics?
out there. It was so weird. What's that one? Two Angry Beavers is a
Two
really
Angry-
good Nickelodeon show. I'm pretty sure that
I
one
don't
was
really remember
Nickelodeon.
that one. Two Angry Beavers?
Yeah, Two Angry Beavers.
Remember, I think it was Cartoon Network's Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
Bro, that was one of my favorite shows. Dude, no.
So dense.
You know, you know what was a crazy one? You know which one was super dense?
Huh.
Code Lyoko. Do you remember that one?
That
It was
sounds
on.
familiar.
It was on a Toonami. That was on Cartoon Network.
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember it very
It
specifically.
was the one where they kept going, like they would go into the virtual world.
No, I don't remember
Remember?
that one.
Oh, dude, that one was a trip. That one was unusual. I'm gonna have to try to find that one.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh,
Jimmy
Fairly
Neutron.
Jimmy
I could
Power
go
Hour.
on and on. Freaking SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob, of course.
SpongeBob, bro.
Let me think. What other good? You know, a really good of the new Cartoon Network shows that's really good. That
haven't really seen
I
it.
really, really, really enjoy is Steven Universe.
Oh, I heard that was good.
I have the full soundtrack downloaded on my phone. I
that
love
might
that
be
show.
on Netflix.
Because it's kind of they do musical type stuff every once in a while, but it's their actual it's in the story that they play the instruments
Right.
and they actually choose it's a song. It's not like musicals where it's why is everyone dancing all of a sudden?
Yeah.
It's people actually comment, why is he always singing?
I like that. I like that. And not really breaking the fourth wall, but it's
acknowledging that people in musicals are why are they singing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, we are kind of getting tight on time, so I think we should bring this one to a close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed being able to nerd out with you tonight on
Yeah,
some
it's
of
been
our
a lot of
favorite
fun.
TV shows. I'm
Went a
sorry
lot
we
longer than I
missed
thought we
tons
did.
of other TV shows that you guys would have liked us to talk about, which I'm sorry, but hey, we can always go into deep conversations in the comment section.
And hey, we can always revisit this with the other guys in future podcasts. Who
Yeah,
knows? We might
even
we
do
might
one with
do
our
more
favorite
stuff.
movies or something like that.
Favorite movies, yeah.
But yeah, we are definitely fans of exciting culture. So
That's
that's a
the
fancy
most
way of
vague,
saying
weird thing to say.
that was my
what does
fancy
that
way
mean?
of calling us nerds. We enjoy things like movies and TV shows and comics.
Yeah, anything that intrigues the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it. Like we said in the beginning of the podcast, don't forget to check out our new series called
I don't know. Something,
Something
different,
Different.
something new. I don't
Something
know.
Different but Not New.
Something different, something new.
Yeah. So I hope you all have a great week and thanks for listening. I guess we will catch you on the flip.
Flip side.